They say they didn't want you, believe them. This is probably one of the greatest hacks you could have in having healthy relationships, because not only does it build your relationship with rejection, but it builds your relationship and consistency of learning how to let go. Let me explain. Because some of us are so caught up on people who have told us to our face that they don't want us. And you know what's even worse? We have banked on this thought and idea that God told us this person was the one. We have held on to this belief that in some way, shape, or form, without godly counsel supporting us and seeing and saying similar things, confirming certain things, we've been in a space of isolation. We've been following all these different TikToks and all these different signs. This is your sign that this is the person's the one. We've done all these things, but actually consult God about the individual. We have done everything except actually compare this relationship and individual to the values that we carry, so that we are not abandoning who we are or who God has called us to be in order to make sure that this relationship makes sense. We have went above and beyond to convince ourselves through repeating the story that God said, this is the person for me. So when the relationship doesn't happen, when the person finally tells you in more ways than one that they don't want you, when the relationship happens, the breakup takes place, we begin to continue these stories by telling ourselves, oh, well, they'll come back around. We'll begin to continue these stories and tell ourselves that God has just separated us for a season to bring us back together so we can be more powerful than ever. And this isn't me trying to beat you up on that, because you're talking to somebody who has literally done the same things you're currently doing. But I need you to get into a place where you recognize that the faith that you claim you carry does not put you through gymnastic hoops and loops in order to determine if somebody makes sense for your life, if somebody is designed to be in your life. Because people who are really desiring you and are intentional about you not only make that clear, but they make it clear through their actions, because words are not fruit. And I think what we've done in spaces of relationships is we've seen exceptions to the rule and we've made them the rule. We've seen people as examples in our lives who were separated for a season, came back and married, had a life together, those kinds of things. And so we looked at that and said, well, God must be wanting to do the same for me. As if the person that you're trying to apply this to hasn't betrayed your trust before already, hasn't proven that they're unwilling to continue to work on who they are, to become more and more fitting individually for the relationship that can be cultivated in the future, as if you have not already seen the plethora of signs that are telling you that this person actually doesn't align with you, but you're willing to abandon your values in order to make sense for. And you're confusing red flags for hot pink permission slips. And that is what's causing the confusion and pain. All because we are refusing to simply live in a place of acceptance. When somebody tells you they don't want you, believe them. Jesus does this for us. He actually prepares his disciples as he sends them out 2 by 2, and he gives them this instruction, that when you are walking into the town and city from door to door, I'm gonna paraphrase here, but you'll see the scriptures that are referenced. It's right on the screen. When you walk into the town and you are invited to someone's home, he says, those who welcome you into their home, eat the meal that they prepared, sit with them, communicate with them, talk with them, for you are a guest in there, right? He says, but in the event that somebody rejects you, in the event that somebody is not welcoming you, that they slam the door in your face, right? He says, knock the dust off your feet and keep it pushing. In other words, don't take it personally. Don't take it personally. Some people just don't want you because they just don't want you. Some people don't want you because they're not ready for you. Some people don't want you because they don't even see the value that you carry. Some people don't want you, watch this, because you actually aren't as dope as you think you are. And there's parts of you that are portraying something you really aren't, causing you to come off very inauthentic and not legit. Plethora of reasons why we could come back around and say why you were not wanted by said person. But regardless of their reservations, that is their business and their concern. And what Jesus implies through this message is to knock the dust off your feet, don't take it personal, and keep it moving. And what happens is we take rejection so personally that we begin to believe that because this person tells us they don't want us, that must mean something is inherently wrong with us. And because there's something inherently wrong with us that we then believe can't be fixed, we then walk around with a sour relationship to rejection, unable to heal and unable to move forward. And I'm telling you that somebody telling you no is not the end of the world, not because it doesn't have permission to hurt. I don't want to be insensitive here. It does have permission to hurt, and that emotional impact of experiencing something like that, especially for the first time, weighs on you. And it's something that we have to grieve through, and we have to process, and we have to let go of all the potential that we had, and we have to let go of all the things that we banked in, that we were hoping for would come to pass, that are no longer available. We have to give ourselves time to grieve that, absolutely. But what I don't want you to do is continue to wrap God around the fantasy you've created as if God is intentionally trying to bless something he never gave permission to in the first place. It was your wounds and fantasies that did that. And now we're walking around confused because, well, God said that this person was my husband. God said this person was my wife. God said this, God said that. No, did you say that? Did God say that, or did you say that? See, this is the part of accountability that we clearly are not interested in, that we just need to take some time to take some inventory in. And this is just me keeping it a buck with you and loving you, because there are some people you willing to go pay money to sit in their offices who won't dare tell you this, but will rather continue to tell you all the craziness that you keep hearing that actually isn't helping you. I want to be of service to you. Listen, I think there comes a time where we have to just be honest and say, maybe we got it wrong. Maybe we got it wrong, but listen, hear me. Their rejection of you, their behavior towards you does not get to determine your value. And it is okay for people to miss out on you even though you wanted them. Let them go. Let them go. Jesus doesn't chase a soul in the New Testament, in the Gospels, in his earthly ministry when they show no interest in the kingdom message he was here to present. He did not go chasing. He did not go and sit them down and give a PowerPoint presentation on why the greatest gift he has to offer is good for them and why they need to take it. They simply didn't want it. He didn't force it because it was out of love, because love presents a choice. Love gives both parties the invitation to choose one another. And in the event you're not chosen, it may hurt, tears may flow, but as Jesus tells his disciples, I'm telling you, knock the dust off your feet. Don't take it personal. And this is an opportunity to build a healthy rejection or healthy relationship to rejection, where we no longer allow rejection to crush us, but it is something that we are able to process through healthily and keep moving in the life that God has in front of us. And I'm just seeing so many people who are going through these breakups, who are going through these encounters, and as tough and challenging as it may be emotionally, we are quick to wrap God around these things as if we're awaiting God to do this healing work in us individually so we can bring back together. And what we miss is the fact that free will is something God just does not intervene in. God just won't intervene in that. And if somebody chooses not to see you for who you are and receive you for as you are, there's nothing you can do to force them to see that. And God not going to do it either. So you can keep praying and you can keep praying, you can keep praying. But if they don't make the decision on you, this is not something that we want to continue to try to force, because that's not love, because that's not where love exists. And real love gives you the capacity to receive all the no's for the right yes, giving you the foundation that is Christ, to be able to still love with an open hand, even if what you wanted doesn't come to pass. And we just have to be okay, even if what we wanted doesn't happen. It may hurt. You may need to cry. You may need to grieve. Do so in order to leave it properly. And please know that their behavior towards you is not an indication of the value you carry. And if they tell you they don't want you, believe them. And let them miss out on you as you continue to grow and become all that God is calling you to be, without making them the villain to your story. Because everybody has a choice on who they want to choose to invest in. And just like you, not everybody's cup of tea, not everybody is your cup of tea. And we have to be okay with that in order to continue moving forward, creating healthier relationships that don't lead us to controlling people through a means of clinging to them, because we do not want to experience rejection and what that looks like, living a life without them. You have already been chosen by the King himself. I need you to start living like it. I hope this made sense. If it did, type "caught it" in the comment section below. And follow for more as we continue navigating through our healing and doing relationships the right way, which starts with us doing the healing work on ourselves first, which sometimes looks like having some candid, non-holding hand conversations like this, so we can get on the same page and begin to build healthier relationships to rejection that doesn't allow rejection to keep us squandered and squashed, but we can actually live through, because the greatest love we'll ever have, we already have access to. And this allows us to reshape our perspectives to understand that any love anyone else could give us externally is additional, not necessary for us to live the life God has called us to. It may hurt, grieve it, so you can leave it, so you don't remain stuck in something that wasn't supposed to be forever.